Every child deserves to grow into who they are meant to be, not who fear forces them to become. My name is Professor Adefunke Ikine, and in the last 12 months, this has been our commitment. The project is titled Ending School-Related Gender-Based Violence, a two-pronged approach. It is a randomized control pilot project to combat school-related gender-based violence in schools by working with teachers and working with the pupils. We chose to work with primaries 4, 5, and 6 because of their age and their ability to comprehend the concept of sexual harassment, bullying, and assertiveness. At the beginning of the project, we had what I would say 6 objectives: how the teachers will gain practical insight into how to help children prevent gender-based violence, and if there are cases, how to support them. Then we wanted to be able to generate knowledge because, as we mentioned, it's the first time that we're doing this in primary school. Then we wanted to increase the awareness of children's rights and safety among themselves. Do the children know their rights? Do they know whether they can express themselves, and what should they do? What should they expect? We wanted to also strengthen their teachers' ability to support them to manage and to respond to any cases reported. Also, we wanted to be able to build a safer and inclusive learning environment for the children in the school, and at the end of the day, see how to guide these policy makers to see how this can be incorporated into the school policy, where school safety and gender equity is paramount. So these were some of the goals that we set out to achieve, and in all I can say that we've been able to achieve some of our goals, if not all, about the majority of it. I would say 80% of the goals has been achieved in this pilot case. You cannot expect the teachers to deliver what they do not know. So we had to train the teachers. We had a 2-day training. We were actually expecting about 200 teachers because we wanted 10 teachers from each school. But unfortunately, some of the schools don't even have up to 10 teachers. Some have 4, some have 3, some have 5, some have 7. And some are contract teachers. So the number did not meet up with what we wanted. We had 136 trained teachers in all. Apart from the teachers, we had ministry officials who came and some CSO too who were there at the training, who enjoyed the training. So in all, we had about 150 people trained. But for the children, we trained 50 children in 20 schools. We were expecting to train 1,000 of them. But in all, we were able to train 854 pupils, boys and girls. We trained them in their schools. Because of their age, we could not move them around, and we didn't have a hall that could take 1,000 children at the same time. And the logistics, children will be children. So we felt the best is to train them right in their schools. So each school, with the help of the head teachers and the teachers cooperating, they gave us 1 day, and so we were there on that day.
When we are talking about a safer school, it could mean a lot of things.
A safer school means a school that is conducive for learning. A school that there is no thuggery there. Learners are free. They can approach the teachers, tell them their mind. They are free in the class because they know nobody can harass them. And they have problem, they can come to teachers or the head teachers to report, and there is no violence.
This project is a good project that I love most. It has assisted me a lot in my classrooms. Before, there's a lot of harassment, bullying among the learners in my class. But when I participate in this project, I can see that there is a positive change among these children.
On the part of the teachers, their approach to these children has really changed since this NGO has been visiting our school. Let me cite an example of a teacher. She's of age, but not married yet. Her way of approach to these children before was not so good as expected. She reacts in a bad mood. But this time when this NGO has been coming, I've seen changes in her. She has been having good rapport with these children, treating them in a good way. Even I can see that the children do relate to her like mothers now than before.
After the training, I learned a lot because before, the children, when they are bullying on each other, we don't take it seriously. We take it lightly. But after the training, we take it so much serious. We talk to them often and often. We talk to them more and more.
The first thing I learned from the program, that teacher must be very patient with the students because sometimes they do annoy teachers the way they behave in the class.
Nínú training, wọ́n sọ pé ká má mọ̀ ṣe nǹkan tí ó bad, pé ká má mọ̀ gbé àwa ṣépè, pé kí a má mọ̀ gbá àwa níṣẹ́, pé ká má mọ̀ fọwọ́ kan àwa ní ọ̀nà tí ó tọ́. Tí ẹnìkan tó wá wóyàn níbi tí ó tọ́, á lọ sọ fún teacher.
After the training, we have some of our teachers that attended that seminar, including myself. So for those who have not attended, we call them, we enlighten them, even with the pupils. And they are practicalize those things with the pupil by, in the morning, there is what we call moral talk. That moral talk has changed the life of the pupil, even the teachers. In the morning on assembly ground, when we address them, enlighten them about what is going on in our society these days. When there are some things on social media, you will see the old man of 40 years of age abduct those little girls, having sexual intercourse with them. So all those things. So we normally address them on that. That is the impact of the moral talk, and it has changed their life totally.
I've changed positively after the training because there will be a times these children, they will annoy the teacher. That vows words have reduced drastically. The training has let us exposed to what? We should reduce our annoyance. So when we reduce our annoyance, we can interact with the learners. And I'm using another measure. See, don't make me vex. I will not make you vex. You are our daddy. We love you. Okay, me too, I love you. I know you are my professors. They will say yes. So from there, the training has already improved me in my classrooms.
After the training, majority of them are now opening up with a lot of things going on in their environment to the teacher. A female learner came to me some time ago and told me that a brother in our street is asking her for like a date, stuff like that. So I had to invite the girl's mother to inform her and tell her that the girl needs proper guidance so that she won't be left alone with the so-called person.
When a child reports something unsafe to us, we try to let them know that we are there to help them. We will not shun them. We try to calm them and we interview them, how does it happen, and we try to solve it. And if we are not be able to even solve it, we quickly go to the head teacher, the HM in the office. And by doing that, they can even call on their parents for more information.
Using positive discipline will make the learners to have confidence. It will encourage them to keep reporting if they are getting positive response. After we closed one day, a boy came to me, because I was still around, came to me that somebody threw stone at him. And I can see that the place swelled up. So I took action immediately. I called the boy that threw the stone, talked to him, tell him the reason why it is not good to do that. And he said sorry to the other boy, and everything went amicably.
I feel safer in school now because our teacher have taught us well that we should not bully again and people have changed. I feel safer in school because there's no more people bullying in the school again.
The children are now relaxed. Teachers are now using empathy. We don't use corporal punishments again. We correct the learners with love, and the children are now settled and they are listening. Even there is improvement in their academic performances as a result of love being used now instead of corporal punishments.
Apart from the training, children were given manuals. We have manuals written for the teachers. We have manuals written for the children. The manuals written for the children were actually in a funny way. We had pictures, we had graphs, we had things that children can identify with. So it was like an activity-based manual. Both the teachers and the children had bags, writing material. And then we gave the children a book that spoke about bullying and sexual harassment. So each child went home with a storybook, which we think can reinforce what we have been doing. Because we're talking about something that has not been talked about before. Even adults don't like to talk about sexual abuse, so harassment, bullying. These are things that needs safety, needs privacy, needs confidentiality. So how did we get the confidence of the children? We told them to report anonymously. So we introduced what we call safe boxes. You know, things like suggestion boxes were put in the classroom. And we talked to them that in case anything happens to you, you don't need to put your name. We had sheets of paper, we are writing materials there, and we made them to just draw or tick the faces. There were two faces, a happy face and a sad face. So if anything that makes you sad, like bullying, sexual harassment happens to you, the child is free to write or to tick and to submit into that box. So we call it safe boxes. And the boxes are in the classroom. So children can go there at any time without anybody seeing them. And our supervisors were going to the schools once every 2 weeks. These boxes were locked, so nobody could open it. But as soon as the children drop their paper in, a supervisor will go there bi-weekly to collect, and then we record the data. We had issues of some schools where the boxes were vandalized. Maybe they felt there was valuables inside it. So Ms. Grant went to the schools and they took the boxes. But there was one particular school that it was taken, but the community fought for it and they were able to retrieve it. That really made us to understand that the community had accepted the project because they fought for that which belonged to the children. Then the second way which we collected data was the school-related gender-based violence school register that we gave the teachers. Because we had trained the teachers and we have told them to support these children to report. Each class teacher and the headmistress or head teacher had a school register. So the children were encouraged to walk up to their teachers, to walk up to the school administrator, to just report when they are free and they are bold enough to report. And some actually did. So the teacher will guide the child by asking questions and by documenting it. And in each of the register, there are things there, the name of the child, who is the person that was involved in the harassment. Is he a teacher? Is he a pupil? Is he an adult? Is he a para staff or support staff? Then the gender, is he a male? Is he a female? What class? Some other details like that are there. So if the child is bold enough to report to the teacher takes account of all those. And when our supervisors goes to the school, as I mentioned, twice in a month, they collect that data. So we try to see the anonymous reporting. Does that encourage the children to report more, or the one with the teachers? And we'll see that both were used. And this made us to believe that the intervention was actually working, because before we went to the schools, there were no cases of reporting. and their children did not have the boldness to walk up to their teachers to even say anything or even to complain among themselves. So we see that the treatment schools have been able to at least achieve some of our goals by encouraging reporting of violence, of bullying, of harassment within the school system. Did we achieve our goals and objectives? I mentioned, I would say 90% we achieved what we set out to achieve. Our goals and objectives were met. First, creating awareness. I would say the awareness has gone far that even the ministry and other schools, if there is any case of harassment, they will call our hotline, they will call our office line, they will call us. Even religious spaces and schools that we did not go to, people are calling us in the state to come and enlighten them more about this bullying, about this sexual harassment, and even training their teachers to be able to provide support for their children too. Also, we have been able to achieve the capacity of teachers being strengthened to be able to recognize that this incident is actually a case of harassment, and to be able to manage such cases. So because cases have now been reported to them and they are able to manage it. Recently, one case that was handled by us, the perpetrator had been locked up. The girl was given a medical attention, and she had been removed from the scene of the abuse, even though it wasn't within the school. But because they've known us with this project, when the case was reported, our organization was called. One thing we have found out is, one, teachers are very eager to learn about issues of gender-based violence and how to provide support for children in the school. So we are looking at working with the government to make this training part of their professional development, either on a yearly basis or part of the curriculum of the teacher development while they are in training. Secondly, we have found out that these trainings have had ripple effects. Like the children we train, they had to talk to their siblings, they had to talk to their friends in other schools. So the word is spreading and the awareness is gaining ground. So we have seen that this project is affecting a whole lot of things. Apart from the awareness, it's affecting the sanitation, it's affecting the facilities, it's even affecting the way the community takes the school. A community coming up to support the school and the Parents and Teachers Association. So on this note, we're looking at scaling of this project, and so we want to thank our funders, Funds for Innovation in Development. We want to thank FID from France. We appreciate your support, and as we go into our dissemination and are talking with the government, we want you to know that the Commissioner is interested in us scaling this to over at least 200 schools in Oyo State, if not more, because they've seen the ripple effect of the little that we have done. On this note, we want to thank you. We appreciate you for believing in the Nigerian child and for committing your funds into it. We thank you, and thank you to all the schools. Thank you to the Commissioner. Thank you to the ES, to the SUBEB officials. We thank you, and God bless.